Hey guys, CoreFX here, bringing you guys another tutorial. Thanking you all for 150 subscribers. Again, I'd like to thank you guys so much for all the support that you've been giving me through this close to nearly 1 year. Not even that, pretty much. I say it's probably 2/3 of a year. And like I started back in last September, and I've gained 150 subs already. I thought I was going to get nowhere. So again, thank you so much. And to thank you guys, I'll be showing you guys how to simply sync videos in After Effects. So what you're going to need is After Effects CS 5.5 is what I'm going to use for this. And I hope this really helps a lot of you guys out there. And I don't know if other people do it differently, but this is just the way I do it if you happen to like my edits. So let's get into it. Go ahead and go into your After Effects and then import your soundtrack and your footage, and then put them both into a comp together. I would highly suggest that all clips are 60 frames per second, and you'll probably find out why maybe during this tutorial if I happen to use Twixtor, but I'm not going to specifically show you guys how to use Twixtor in this one. Maybe just a little bit, but that will be probably for another video. So I have this nice clip here from Tame Wizyul. I don't know what his name is now. He just joined the King Clan, whose edit I'm going to be doing shortly. So I hope he or they are not offended by me using their clip. It's just very, very good, and I like the quality of it. So go ahead and you can see your audio clip here. So you click this little arrow here, go to audio, waveform, and you can see your waveform for your soundtrack. And press the plus button on your keyboard, like zoom in on the waveform. And then you want to find that point where your bass drop is. So I'm going to play back the audio a little bit just so you guys can hear what's going to be happening here. I think it's Amarna Rain, so it's a little mix that I made. So here you go, just a little clip, and let me render this out just because my computer is slow. Teehee. So that's what it sounds like. That wasn't synced at all or anything. I just put the clip in there. So what we're gonna do is find your first bass drop. So you're gonna time that, and now drag your clip to when the first shot is taken. Now what I'm going to do is something that is done, what I think is by a lot of editors, which is cutting the frame right before the guy scopes in, just to add some quickness to the video. So there is the frame right before he scopes in all the way. Go to the next frame, Control Shift D to split that clip, and then drag it back a little bit just to get that nice shot in there. So say, let's just put it right there, and hold shift and drag over to put that nicely together. So now what this looks like is this. So that's synced, and then so that's like the first part of syncing if you just want to do like a quick scope or something. And then the next thing to do is you want to find your next part of your song where the next drop is going to be. So go ahead and preview it and check where it is. There are ways to actually find the point where you want to add your effect or shot, and that would be by clicking the audio clip, previewing it, and as it goes by, as that moment happens, you press the star button. But for all computers I've owned, it's not fast enough to actually process it at that moment, or the keyboard is just slow by like 1/10 of a second, so it doesn't really work for me. So I'm just going to be winging it from what I hear. So what I thought I heard was it happens right here, and you can see that there's well, maybe you can't, but I can. that there's a little bump in audio right there, and that's where I think that the next shot happens. So what I'm going to do is right click my top footage or the active footage, go to time, and then enable time remapping. This is what we're mainly going to use. Now go to that point right after, I would say after the shot, and the scope kind of settles right before the next shot. So probably right there, and then keyframe that, and then go ahead and find your point of when he shoots the next shot, which is right there. Key point that, and then go backward just a little bit right before when he shoots that. Keyframe, and go a little bit ahead. So in this case, it'll just be when he scopes out. So right there. So what we're doing here is we're keeping all three of these frames together, so we keep the motion or the timing of the clip. We preserve that because we don't want to ruin it by, speeding things up and making it all confusing for the viewers. So now you have to find your point of time again, which I believe I've lost it, but I'm guessing it's right here. And then what you do is you highlight all three of your keyframes right here. Actually, what you want to do is you want to also grab your last keyframe so that you don't lose the time or speed of the video. Okay. And then drag back the point of shot. And now this should be timed. That was a little too early, so I'm going to back it up some. And really, guys, this is all just testing and error, and then until you finally succeed. So there's no really secret to it, it's just the things that you use. Now, here's what I do for most of my edits. You may have seen that, yes, the second shot is synced now, but also the third shot is now synced. It happens sometimes that it's just absolutely perfect. So what I suggest is just keeping it there and just keyframe the point when he scopes out, so that you keep that in that point of time. And let's see if the last one is. And obviously it's not, and lucky for you guys, I'm going to be using Twixtor, I decided. So just to be safe, we're going to keyframe the moment. Wow, my little sister is like screaming upstairs. And now crying. I'm not a child abuser. Neither are my parents. So we're probably just going to take the moment at where if an editor has a moment that they can use where the hand of the sniper, the hand is out of the frame, I would use that because the Twixtor really warps a lot. So I'm just going to use this point right here. I'm going to split the clip by pressing Control-Shift-D, type in Twixtor, and drag that onto your clip. Now hopefully all you guys have 59.94 frames per second, so type that in for your input frame rate. And then your speed, you're going to keyframe that, and then go Control and arrow to the right to go to the next frame. And I love either doing 2.5 or 1, because otherwise any other faster speed will add warp to the video, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about this. So now you can see there's a little warp where that shadow comes in, and that's because there's such a big difference between the two frames, and I'd say that's okay. So let's watch this again. So actually you could, if you really wanted to, for moments like these, I would maybe even, by covering up this shadow that casts over the scope, maybe even insert like a flaming scope effect, which I'm not going to do because that'd take way too long. I've already taken up 10 minutes of unnecessary minutes. I'm sorry guys, but I'm a horrible teacher, per se. So let's just go to the next moment. So as I can see, this is my the next part where my base goes on. So we're just going to guess and just say like this is like a few frames back. Split that clip and then delete the Twixtor and the one that you want to go normal speed again. And then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to drag back to that moment of when the shot is taken or the scope is going back in. So we ended about right here, and let's just go back a frame to make sure that we're on the same page here. And it looks like we are, but we're going to have to sync these shots, of course. So the last shot is taken right there, and what we're going to do is we're going to drag that back to that drop, okay? And we're going to drag Twixtor back, and the moment of time that Twixtor is in is when we're just joining the shadow, so we want to drag this one frame forward and bring it back, okay? Or in fact, instead of doing that, instead of messing up time, we can drag Twixtor forward, and that looks like it syncs alright. So let's try this now. So that looks okay to me, and of course this was very simple because I don't want anybody getting confused or anything. You know, if you personally knew me as an editor, of course I'd give you further instructions. But this is basic, guys, and of course you could always just do your own stuff, you know, experiment and find your own way that you like and what people like, and you should be fine. Okay, this is again the way that I do stuff, and of course I would usually take more time on these clips, but I really wanted to show you guys in a short amount of time, which took 12 minutes. But really, to be honest, guys, this is how long this stuff is going to take. It's going to take half an hour just to edit one clip if you really want to do it effectively. So I'm going to play this whole thing back. Hopefully you guys can see it. If you can't, just imagine it being amazing. Alright. So, yeah. So again, thanks guys for 150 subscribers. I hope you really liked the video. I hope it helped you out a lot. And I hope to see more subscribers join my channel. And I really hope to post more videos. Of course, I will always give support to anybody who messages me or questions what I do, or if they have questions, if they didn't understand something or they just want more detailed info. You could always message me on YouTube, and I could always contact you on Skype, and we could always talk, share screens and whatever. Again, thanks guys. I love you all. Thanks for watching this video. Please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.